In this lecture, we will be discussing accessibility. Accessibility is extremely important to consider when you are creating any type of visualizations and will be considered when I am grading your work. Accessibility is defined as the quality of being able to be entered or used by everyone, including people who have a disability. The quality of being easy to understand or enjoy. This means that everyone, no matter their ability, gets to enjoy the use of anything. In this class, accessibility is going to be focused on the ability to enjoy the visualizations you are going to make. They need to be clear and easy to understand. So, why is it important to consider accessibility when you are making your visualizations? Well, more than 1 in 4 adults in the United States have some sort of disability. Let's break this down even further. 2.2 billion people worldwide have some sort of vision impairment. This number includes those who need eyeglasses or contacts. 1 in 12 males and 1 in 200 females have some sort of color vision deficiency. And 3 million people around the world have some form of color blindness. But disabilities don't just deal with physical, there are also learning disabilities. 1 in 5 adults have some form of dyslexia, which makes reading difficult. Between 3 to 7% of adults have dyscalculia, which is difficulty with numbers, and 13.9% of U.S. adults have a cognitive disability, which includes disabilities like autism, ADHD, and the two mentioned above, dyscalculia and dyslexia. When it comes to hearing difficulties, approximately 15% of all American adults have trouble hearing. These are the areas where accessibility comes into play: font selection, color selection, and closed captioning or subtitles. There are 4 types of font: script, display, serif, and sans serif. The most inaccessible font is going to be script font. Script is a flowy font, often with loops and swirls. Handwriting type font is considered a script font. These loops and swirls often overlap, and connectivity of the letters can make it very difficult for people with learning or visual difficulties to read, because there is no clear definition between the letters, and in some cases the letters may resemble each other or overlap. Handwriting text has all the same issues as script font. Display text are normally used for signs or headings and have the same issues that script texts do. In this example, you can see that the S, X, and Z look the same, and the G and Y look similar. Of the flourish font types, serif is going to be the most accessible, but not perfect because of the little ticks or serifs on each letter. The serifs can cause the letters to look like they are touching and make it difficult for people with vision and learning difficulties to read. The most accessible font to use is going to be a sans serif font. This font does not have serifs, so the letters are clear and well spaced, with each letter existing in their own space and not encroaching on the letters beside them. With all that said, you can still use script and handwriting displays and serif fonts. You just want to make sure you select ones that are clear and easy to understand, mainly focusing on the ability to discern each letter clearly, like in these examples. When picking out colors to use in your visualization, you want to avoid bright colors and combinations with bright colors. Instead, use a combination of a light and dark color. Regardless, there are certain color combinations that you want to avoid altogether: reds and greens, blues and oranges, greens and magenta, cyan and yellows. These combinations are extremely harsh on the eyes. When you use bright colors together, they can cause what is known as an after image effect. This means these colors look like they are moving or have a shadow effect. As you can imagine, someone who already has difficulty reading will have an even harder time because of the wrong color combinations. So using the right combinations not only makes it easier for them to read, but it also makes it easier for everyone else, and it also looks more appealing. In week 3 and 4, we'll have librarian April Miller lecture about font and color psychology, as well as how to design infographics, which you may want to use when you are creating your own data visualizations. So subtitles and closed captionings are what people with hearing problems rely on when watching videos. But they aren't the only people who need subtitles. People with auditory processing disorders also rely on subtitles. Auditory processing disorder is where your brain does not process what is being said. A person with this disorder knows that they are being talked to, but they cannot process it. So when you create your final presentation, you'll need to include subtitles. Depending on what program you use, you'll need to include a .text document of your presentation. There are various ways to add subtitles. I found the easiest is to upload your videos to YouTube and then follow the instructions they provide. You need to make sure that you, if you do automatic subtitles or closed captioning, that you go back and check to make sure that the words that are on the subtitles matches the words that you are saying. So, why is accessibility important to think about when you are designing your visualizations? Well, there are several reasons. One, it makes your design legible and usable, which allows everyone to be able to read and enjoy your visualization. It increases user experience for everyone because of how easy it is to read, which then decreases miscommunication, which is a big thing. So when you design with accessibility in mind, you're being conscientious about how your visualization could be misinterpreted or misunderstood. And if all that wasn't enough, it is also required by law to make sure that your visualizations are accessible. To help you with this, there are several accessibility checkers available. When you have any questions about color combinations, you want to use WebAIM. Um, when you are using this, you want to make sure your color combinations pass the WCAG level. When you're creating PDF, you'll want to open up Adobe, and on the right hand side of the screen there is a tag. Just click on it, and then the three dots at the top of the tag, and auto tag your document. Just make sure that every single item on your document, even images, has some sort of alt text. And with Microsoft Office software, they'll have an accessibility checker under review. All you have to do is click on check accessibility, and it will tell you what changes you need to make your document more accessible.